All right, everybody, welcome back to another deep dive with me. And
Hello, everyone.
so today
Yeah.
we're going to be talking about something that I think we've all probably had some experience with,
Yeah, definitely.
and that is exes, and more specifically, all the strange ways that they try to
Yeah,
reconnect with us.
right.
And we're looking at this great piece called The X-Files, When Exes Resurface,
Mm-hmm.
which I love that title.
It's very catchy.
And so this piece goes into a lot of detail about the psychology of this
Yeah.
and why people might be doing this.
Yeah,
And sort of the most common methods. And that's
Yeah.
kind of what we're going to be talking about today. So,
exactly.
yeah, I'm really interested to hear your thoughts on some of this stuff.
Yeah, absolutely.
And have you ever had like an ex try to reconnect with you in like a weird or unexpected way?
Oh, gosh. So I feel like most people would probably say yeah.
Yeah.
You know, like, who hasn't had that awkward run-in at the coffee shop or,
Totally.
the grocery store?
It's like it always seems to happen when you look your worst too, right?
Exactly, like sweatpants, hair in a bun,
Yeah.
no makeup.
Yeah. That's always when it happens.
Yeah. Yeah.
So this piece talks about like three main ways that this seems to happen.
Yeah.
And the first one is the late night text.
Oh, yeah.
And so have you ever experienced this, or like what are your thoughts on this?
I mean, who hasn't gotten the "Hey Stranger" text at like 2 a.m?
Right.
It's always so weird.
It's like where is this coming from?
Yeah, and what are you hoping to achieve at 2 a.m?
Right.
Are you just lonely? Are you reminiscing?
Yeah.
Like, what's going on?
Or are you drinking?
Oh, for sure. Yeah, liquid courage is definitely involved sometimes.
Yeah.
I think a lot of it comes down to like lowered inhibitions late at night. You're not really thinking straight.
Right.
You're more likely to do something impulsive that you might regret in the morning.
Totally.
So yeah, I think those late night texts are definitely a red flag.
Yeah, it's so interesting to think about like the psychology behind that. Like what is it
Right.
that's really driving that?
And sometimes it's not even about wanting to get back together. It's
Right.
just wanting that validation.
Yeah.
That someone's still thinking about you,
Totally.
even if it's just at 2 a.m.
Yeah, that makes it. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
So late night text, that's one thing, but then there's also the like in-person
Oh, yeah.
awkward run-in.
That's the worst.
Like you said, at the grocery store or
Yeah.
the coffee shop or wherever it may be.
It's like your heart just drops into your stomach.
Yeah.
You see them and you're like, oh, no.
Like, can I get out of here without them seeing me?
Exactly. Like, can I just disappear?
Yep.
But then you make eye contact and it's too late.
Yeah.
You're trapped.
And then it's like, what do you do?
Right? Like, do you say hi?
Yeah.
Do you just smile awkwardly?
Mhm.
Do you run away?
Do you pretend you didn't see them?
Yeah. It's a minefield.
It's like, what's the protocol here?
Yeah, and I think it really depends on like the nature of the breakup.
Right.
If it was a bad breakup, you're probably going to want to avoid eye contact at all costs.
Totally.
But if it was more amicable, you might be able to, chat for a bit.
Yeah.
But even then, it's still awkward.
It's still so awkward.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've definitely had a few of those
Me too.
where I'm just like, oh, okay, what do I do?
You just freeze up.
Yeah, and it's like small talk. It's the worst small talk ever
It's the worst.
because you're both thinking about all this other stuff.
Exactly. And you're trying to like read into everything they say.
Yeah.
Like, oh, they asked me how work is going. Do they still care?
Right.
Like you're just overthinking everything.
Yeah, you're in your head. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've got late night texts, we've got awkward run-ins,
Right.
and then the last one that this piece talks about is social media.
Oh, yeah, the lurking,
Yeah,
the scrolling.
Like going
effect.
deep into the archives.
Oh, yeah. Going way back to like 2015
Yeah.
just to see what they were up to.
Yeah. You ever done that?
I mean, who hasn't?
I've totally done that.
It's so tempting.
It is tempting, but then it's like, why am I doing this?
Right. Like, what am I hoping to find?
Yeah.
Am I looking for evidence that they're miserable without me?
Right.
Or am I hoping to see that they've moved on and are happy?
Yeah.
Like, it's a weird mix of emotions.
It is. And I think that's why it's so fascinating. Like, why are we so fascinated by the ways that exes come back into our lives?
I think it's because they represent a part of our past.
Yeah.
A chapter that's closed, but maybe not completely.
Right.
There are still those unanswered questions.
Totally.
Those what ifs.
Yeah. And I think there's something to be said for like you said, like closure.
Right.
Or like a lack of closure, I guess.
Yeah. And sometimes seeing how your ex is doing can actually give you that closure.
Right.
Whether it's good or bad. It can help you move on.
Yeah. It's so interesting. It's almost like a morbid curiosity.
It is.
Totally. You don't want to look.
Yeah.
But you kind of can't help yourself.
Yeah, you're drawn to it.
Yeah.
Like a moth to a flame.
Totally. Well, this has been really fascinating.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would love to hear from our listeners. Like,
yes.
What are some ways that your exes have tried to reconnect with you?
Yeah. What's the weirdest...
Like, let us know.
Or the most unexpected way?
Yeah.
Because I'm sure there are some great stories out there.
I'm sure there are some good ones, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, well, that's all the time we have for today.
Thanks for listening, everyone.
I'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.